بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اتفضلي Mrs. راود.
Thank you, Mr. Hussein. Thank you very much. Welcome everybody to Listen Before You Speak course. Today we have a professional trainer and one of our new friends. She has a bachelor degree from Ain Shams University, English department with very good honors. She has advanced diploma in teaching English to speakers of other languages, TESOL, at Notting Hill College, UK, as well as studying professional development for teacher training. Moreover, she received different courses and workshops, including establishing and maintaining effective professional learning communities, class management and student engagement strategies, and understanding SCOTT enforcement at Certified Learning Center Educational Learning Consultant. Now she's a formal ESL teacher at Manart Riyadh schools. Also, she has extensive experience in language and international schools for more than 12 years. She is an English instructor and an English coordinator. Now she is Mrs. Jihan Mansour. Welcome, Ms. Jihan. Ms. Jihan.
Okay. Welcome everybody.
Welcome.
Yes, thank you so much. Welcome everybody, and thank you, Raud, for this great presentation. Actually, I hope to be like that, inshallah. I hope you enjoy our session today. Listen before you speak. So, as we said here, before you speak, you listen. Open your ears before you open your mouth. What is the meaning of that? And let's see here. What do we mean by listening? Could you please write down in the chat box? Okay. What do we mean by listen before you speak? Why do we say that name for that course? Hearing the other words, okay. Focus on pronunciation. We must listen well. Yes, that's good, Nada. Listening to different points of view. Yes, of course. All of these answers are great. So as we said, the listening is one of the most important skills that we can have. How well you listen here has a major impact on your job effectiveness and also on the quality of your relations and on your job. So we listen to obtain information, we listen to understand, we listen to for enjoyment, we listen over to learn. So clearly here, listening is a skill that we can benefit from improving and by becoming a better listener. So by listening here, I say that we can improve our productivity as well as your ability to influence the others and persuade the others by the listening. And I want you here to focus in that, hear what people are really saying, because I want you to pay attention for that one here, because later we are going to focus on that. Maybe because we have 2 ears to listen more than we talk. Yes, that's a great, Muhammad. Thanks, that is a good one. And that's exactly what I'm going to talk about here right now. Before you speak, we need to listen. And before you write, you think. So knowledge means speaking, but wisdom is listening. And that's a good one when you say we have 2 ears to listen, but just one mouth. Listen carefully to speak well. Yes, exactly, Minna. Thank you so much. So here listening, as we said, is one of the skills that we use most every day in everyday life. So we are listening for comprehension, and this is one of the bases for your speaking. That's why I say listen before you speak. This is one of the most important things here. We are speaking about listening and understanding well. Yes, very good. Listen carefully to speak well. That's great. Okay. What about that one here? when we say that, given all the listening that we do, would you think that we are good listeners? Do you think that we are good listeners? Sorry if I'm not exactly looking at the camera because I opening to account, so sorry if I get like that, okay, girls? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, of course. Yes, language come from listening, that's great. Not all the time. Yes, Ms. Rawat, yes, very good, not all the time. We are not good listeners most of the time, yes. And that's why sometimes, yes, Wala, yes. Okay, so when we say that the listening is something that we do regularly or every day in everyday life, okay, so, but in fact, most of us are not good listeners because in the research that suggests that only remember between 25% to 50% of what we hear. As described here, when we say that by Edward Dales, that means when you talk to your boss, for example, or your colleagues or your customers for about 10 minutes, they pay attention to less than half of this conversation. So do you agree with that or not? Do you agree with that? Sometimes, yes. Yes, exactly. You don't agree, Wala? You don't agree? Okay, why? Why you don't agree with that? Are you a good listener? Yes, 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 of course. I think so. If you are a good listener, Raul, okay, so please be with me. I'm going to talk to you too much time later. I remember all of the conversation. Wow, that's amazing. I think that's a gift, Miss Wala. Sure, need to be high motivated. Yes, that is exactly what I'm talking about. Even less than 25%. Oh my God, there's no concentration. Totally agree. Because of that, we are taking notes. Yes, yes. Oh, you're welcome, Wala. If you have that gift, may Allah bless you. So as we said here, listening is a significant part of the communication process. Communication cannot take place until or unless a message is heard and retained thoroughly and positively by the receivers and by the listeners as well. So here we are speaking about listening as a dynamic process, as a mean of communication. Listening here, by listening again, I mean that it means attentiveness, it means like the interest, and also this is as well as the expressions. When you are listening to other one, you need to pay attention to every word, and that is exactly what I mean, but here exactly the others are saying. So here the listening implies decoding. It's like just like reading. It implies the decoding, like translating the symbols into a meaning. These words that the other says, you translate it into meanings. And it's, of course, you need that exactly, and you need to get the message correctly. And this is the best way of the communication process as well. You remember about 25%. Okay, that's great. Okay, so here, what this is related to that part when I say just pay attention to that. Do you remember this one? What was in that dialogue or this bubble? Do you remember? Excuse me. Okay, okay, I'm gonna speak slowly. Sorry for that. Do you remember that talking puppet? Yes, it was about listening. What was exactly in that puppet? That's what I'm talking about. Receiving just less than 10% of what I was speaking about. Okay, it was about hearing what people say. Yes, right. Do you think if there is a difference between listening and hearing? Is there any difference between both of them? You're most welcome, Ms. Delia. Yes, yes, sure. You can't hear well. Okay, I'm gonna raise my voice. Okay, yes, sure. Lesson needs concentration. That's very good point, Miss Nancy. To the point, exactly, yes. Listening normally is one purpose, very good. Hearing without focus, that's great, very good, mashallah. So here we are speaking about the differences between listening and hearing. Excuse me all, I want you to watch that video. But after that, I want you to give me 3 differences between listening and hearing. Okay? So how many differences are you going to give me after listening to the video? Yes, 3. Okay, that's great. Oh my God. Okay, so it's not working here. I'm gonna give you the link in the chat box, please. Sorry for the interruption. Okay. Can you see my screen now? Okay. So back to activity. Listen to that video, and after that, I want to give me 3 differences between listening and hearing. Okay.
Hello, awesome students. This is going to be an amazing and incredible day. Here are some of the things we are going to cover in my class today. And for our topic, we have the difference between listening and hearing.
Sir, what is hearing all about?
Hearing is the ability to perceive sound by detecting vibrations, changes in the pressure of the surrounding medium through time, through an organ such as the ear. And also, hearing is a passive action consequence of our auditory system, unwittingly captures the sound around as a reaction to external stimuli that happens faster than any other sense. Hearing is simply the act of perceiving sound by the ear, and it simply happens.
Sir, how about listening?
Listening is the conscious processing of the auditory stimuli that have been perceived through hearing. And also, listening means paying attention not only in the story, but also on how the story is being told. It means being aware of both verbal and nonverbal messages. In addition, your ability to listen effectively depends on the degree to which you perceive and understand these messages. Listening is the absorption of the words and sentences by the brain, but listening takes attention, or sticking to the task in spite of distractions. It requires concentration, wherein we should focus on one particular problem. Hearing versus listening. Hearing is accidental, but listening is focused. Hearing is involuntary, while listening is voluntary. Hearing is effortless, and in listening, it's intentional. Hearing is a physical ability, while listening is a skill that can be learned. Listening skills allow one to make sense of and understand what another person is saying. Hearing takes place when something disturbs the atmosphere. That disturbance takes the form of pressure waves that strikes our eardrums as sound. Listening is different. It expands on hearing when we pay attention to the meaning of what we hear.
Facts about listening. Listening is an important academic, professional, and daily skill. Listening is a skill of critical significance in all aspects of our lives, from maintaining our personal relationships, on getting our jobs done, on taking notes in class, and so on. Regardless of how we're engaged with listening, it's important to understand that listening involves more than just hearing the words that are directed at us. Listening is different. It expands on hearing when we pay attention to the meaning of what we hear. Listening is an active process by which we make means of, assess, and respond to what we hear. Listening is the key to all effective communication. Without the ability to listen effectively, the messages will be misunderstood and the communication will break down. It will also affect the sender of the message that he or she can become irritated.
Thank you for watching.
Thanks all of you for watching that. So, do you enjoy the video? Okay, I'm waiting now. MashaAllah, I see a lot of reasons here and a lot of differences while listening to the video. So hearing is a sense which happens naturally. We are hearing music by listening to the explanation. Listening is a conscious, purposeful activity. It involves the body language. Listening is deliberately done, while hearing can be done unintentionally. Yes, that's great, Mr. Muhammad. Mr. Islam, we were listening to the speakers, but hearing the music. Okay, sorry for that. I'm so sorry for the loud music. Listening can be learned, but hearing is spontaneously. Yes, very good. Hearing is accidental. Yes, Ms. Wala. Listening is assessing process of what we hear. Hearing is accident by listening is focus. Very good. That's that where so many amazing differences. So of course, as we said here and as we saw here in that video, listening and hearing are totally different. There are a lot of differences between them. For example, the hearing implies just perceiving the sound, while listening means listening and understanding whatever you are listening to. Both the body as well and as the mind involved in the listening process. Listening to pay attention, not yes, very good. That is very good one, Ms. Hibba. Listening to pay attention not only on the story, but paying attention to the sound and give consideration. Hearing is a passive and action, yes, and just preceding sounds. Yes, very good. That's amazing. So listening is an active process, while hearing is a passive one. Hearing is an effortless activity, while the listening is an act of requiring the consciousness. So listening involves both body and physical and psychological effort. Okay, so here we need, as we said, we need to be effective listeners. What do we mean by effective listeners? Listening is intentional. Hearing is a physical ability. Yes. Yes, that's great. So here, the effective listening, we are speaking now about the effective listening skills. In order to translate the message or understand the others speaking, we need to have or obtain these effective listening skills. So what do we mean by that? Able to decode the message, that's great. Yes. People who listen carefully, yes, there are people who, yes, very good. To be active as we listen, yes, that's great. So to be effective listeners, effective listening here requires both deliberate effort and a keen mind. The effective listeners here appreciate the flow of the new ideas and information. So in order to improve your ability to communicate with others, and in order to improve your ability in the communication skills, you must learn how to listen effectively. Effective listening here gives you an advantage and makes you more impressive when you speak, and also gives you, yes, very good, that's what I was saying, Ms. Salma, a good communication with others. So what are the skills for effective listeners? Like what? To be what or what or what? When I say this person or I have effective listening skills, what do we mean by that? Open-minded, active, communication, alert of what is saying, that's great. Yes, thanks, Ms. Salma, Ms. Mona, Ms. Nancy, yes. Listen carefully, yes, exactly. Ask questions, that's great. Able to accept the other's opinion. Thank you, Ms. Rawat. This one is amazing. Yes, very good. To listen carefully and show interest. Yes, exactly. I think you said a lot of exciting skills, as we said here. So number one, discover your interests field. Number two, grasp and understand the matter content. Listen carefully. Yes, very good. And here, remain calm. Do you think that being angry or upset will enable you to listen well to others? No, exactly. Yes, very good. To listen more than you talk, that's great. Very good. No, of course. So by remain calm here, I mean do not lose your temper here, or because being angry, anger here hampers and inhibits your communications with others. So angry people jam their mind to the other words. When you are angry, your mind are totally blocked to any other idea or any other opinion. To feel with the speaker's feelings. Yes, very good. That was one. Be open to accept new ideas and information. As Ms. Rawat said, we need to be able to accept the other's opinion. No problem if we are not on the same point, but we have to respect the other's opinion. Of course, we are not agreeing on the same opinion. Okay, number 5, to jot down and take notes of important points. And I think I see here in the cameras that while listening to the video, most of you were writing notes. And this is a very important idea and a very important note to do when you are listening. Of course, this one for yourself or even for others, okay? Even if you are teaching that to your students, you have to teach them how to take notes. So this is a very good one and very important as well. Okay, are you following till now? I'm speaking so fast. Slow down, or that's okay. Please say one thumbs up if you're okay with that.
مسز جيهان لو سمحتي يعني دوسي فرامل شوية عشان خاطر أنا.
Okay.
عشان أنا عايز أتابع لو سمحتي بالراحة شوية. ماشي.
Okay, I'm gonna slow down. The Pope said that, so I think the others will say that too. So I'm gonna slow down one by one. So up till now, do you want anything to be repeated? That's okay. Thanks, thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, so let's complete. We are here completing the effective listening skills, and mashallah, I think you said more than what I've mentioned. I just mentioned 9 or 10, I think. So let's complete here. To work upon listening. As a child, if you have a baby, you can say that they acquire their L1 or first language by what? By over and over listen to others. So you need to work upon listening. Nothing comes between day and night. You have to work hard and work upon these activities. So also, when you are listening to anything, when you are listening, you need to analyze and evaluate the speech that you are listening to. Okay. Just a minute, there's a problem here. I don't know what happened. Okay, number 7, keep on asking questions. I think this one, you said more than one of you said that one. You need to keep asking a question in order to have all the point of the matter you are listening to. Avoid distraction, and that one is very important. If you are going to listen to learn, you need to avoid any distractions like the TV, like the WhatsApp messages, like all of these distractions. Most of us are listening on our mobiles, And of course, we have Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So you are listening to something and go back to your social media. So no, avoid that distraction if you want to improve your listening skills. Number 10, step into the other shoes. And by that, what do we mean by that? Before I explain this point, what do we mean by that? Put yourself in the other shoes or in the shoes of the others. Wait for the speaker to pause, ask, clarify question. Yes, Ms. Mania, that's great. Take others' place. Yes, very good. Take his place. His is referring to who? Miss Badria, you say take his place. His is referring to who? Empathetic, okay. Yes, very good, to the speaker. Yes, that's a good one. Put yourself in my place, the others. Yes, take the place of the speaker, to the speaker. Yes, very good. So by this point, I mean to put yourself in the position of the speaker. Observe the things from his point of view. And that's why when I say you have to accept the other's opinion, this is related to each other. You have to put yourself in the place of the speaker in order to know or see, watch the situation from his point of view. So this one will help you creating an atmosphere of the mutual understanding and of course, being effective listeners and improve the communication skills as well. So following till here? Okay, to put yourself in the other situation. Yes, very good. So all of these skills, of course, sounds is not good. Okay, can you hear me now? Miss Maisa, can you hear me now? My voice is clear? Okay, okay, thank you. What are the characteristics of a good listener? A good and effective listener. I am a good listener. How? I cannot hear properly. Okay, I'm gonna use another device. Check my connection. Okay.
Mr.
Can you hear
Jan,
me well?
just get closer to the mic. Your voice is
It's here.
somehow good. It's somehow good, but you need to get closer to
the mic is here.
Now it's a good, mashallah. Keep it.
Okay, okay.
Thank you so much.
Yes, very good. Yes, Miss Dalia, that is so good. I am patient until the speaker finished his speech. This is one of the characteristics. If I had that, I can be that I'm a good listener. Yes, very good. Okay, thank you, Miss Nada. Thank you, Miss Shaima. No, when I can speak. This is very good. Never interrupt. That's good, Miss Umniya. To be a good listener, we should recognize that we have 2 ears and 1 tongue. Yes, very good. And that is the aim of listen before you speak. That is 1. Yes, we have 2 ears to listen, but just 1 mouth to speak. The voice should be clear. Okay, I hope my voice is clear now. To have the ability to concentrate on what you have listened. Yes, very good. Never look down to his ideas, of course, and that's what we said before. We have to respect the other's opinion. Postpone question, tell the speaker finish. Yes, and that is very good because some of the speakers don't have that ability to be interrupted. If they are interrupted by questions, the flow of ideas go with them and they became so hesitated. So this is a very good one. Just wait until the speaker finish and then you can ask the questions. Listen, think, decide, and then speak. Very good. Don't judge. Okay, summarize what we have here. Yes, that is very good one. I try to get the message ever there were mistakes. Keeping the eye contact. Yes, very good. So here we are speaking about the good and effective listeners. They always try to give a maximum amount of thoughts to the speakers. Okay, so the good listener, number 1, he must be attention or pay attention to the key points, the main important points of the speech. So he should be alert and he should avoid any kind of distraction, as we said before. Number two, the good listener or the effective listener, he doesn't ignore the informations he considered is necessary. If you are listening to something or to a speech, don't assume that, okay, this one is not important. You have to pay attention to most of the message of the speaker, of course. Also, as you said here in the comments, you should always summarize the speaker's ideas so that there is no misunderstanding. Also, the good listener listens for the feeling of the speakers. Yes, very good. I see most of you here write that one, which is so important. He should listen for the speaker. He concentrates on his on the facts and also concentrates on the body language of the speaker. This is very good. He observes the gestures, the facial expressions, the body language. So in brief here, we can say that the good listener should be projective, that try to understand the views of the speaker. So let's see here, we have to say that we have here number one is attentive, don't assume, and listen for the feeling and facts, and also concentrate on the other speakers kindly and generously. Understand the topic. Yes, very good. MashaAllah, I have here many of the good listeners. MashaAllah. Okay, what are the types of listening? This is one for discussion. What do you think there are there types of listeners or of listening? Or the listening? Yes, yes, yes. Okay.
Mrs. Jan, let us ask them to mention at least one type of the listening.
That was the one I'm gonna ask now. Most of them, they said yes, yes, yes. MashaAllah, entertainment, learning, positive and passive listening. Positive and passive listening? Is there a passive listening? Or hearing, you mean? Listening for getting information, that's a very good one. Listening for fun, for information, instructions. Positive, yes, very good. Random, that's longer listening. Listening for purpose. Active listener, critical listening, yes, that's a very good one. A careful listener, listening for details, yes, very good, Ms. Heba. Yes, exactly. As we said before, the listening is one of the skills that we use every day in our life, right? But we need to make it like a habit in our life in order to improve our listening skills. Sometimes we are listening to audiobooks, podcasts, songs, news, watch videos, films, right? We do that, listen randomly, yes. But we should know that there are many types or different types of listening. I'm going to speak now about main three of them. Listening for just, listening for specific information, and listening for detailed understanding. Do you hear about these three types? Yes, yes, Miss May, of course. You are an idol, Miss May, mashallah. All of these courses, you have to know about them. Yes. Okay, the same types of reading, yes, mostly yes, mostly agree with that, yes. Okay, so I'm speaking now about three of these, similar to skimming, scanning, intensive reading. Yes, that's exactly, yes, very good. That is very Mr. Islam, yes, very good, thank you. Listening for just, when I'm saying listening for just, I'm totally speaking about you listen in order just to understand the main idea of the text. Just listen, or you can't just see the video or the title of the video or the title of the audio, and you can listen to know what is the main idea of that one. The second type is listening for a specific information. And when I say that, you want to find some specific details. For example, if you are listening to something and I'm asking about just some names, who do that, what, who did that, or whatever, just some specific information. Or for example, if I ask about some keywords, just you are listening and you are listening to just this specific information. So this is listening for specific information. Number 3 is listening for detailed understanding. And with that, you want to understand mostly all of the information in the text or the text provided. Are they clear? So which one I want you to, before I have an activity right now, so I want you to know that this is clear. Which one of the 3 types means you are listening to find specific details? Is that listen for just, listen for specific information, listening for detailed understanding? Which one is that? Details. I just want specific information or specific details. Just okay. Let me repeat that part again. I have just 3 types. The listening for just, which means you are listening to have the main idea, to understand the main idea for the text. The second one, listening for a specific information, which means you are listening to find out some specific details. And the last one, which is listening for detailed understanding. And by that, I mean you are, or you want to understand all of the information in the text. Are they clear right now? So which one here is the main idea? Just listening to get the main idea? For just or for, yes, Mr. Muhammad Fathi, thank you. For just, yes, okay. Which one you need to have an idea about all of the information in the text? Yes, very good. Listening for detailed understanding. Yes, so these are the 3 types we are speaking about listening. Listening for just, listening for specific information, and listening for detailed understanding, okay? So here I have one activity. And again, I'm gonna to go to, okay. From that video, I want you to give me, you have a video about do and don't do in an interview. So I want you to listen, because after that, I'm going to ask 3 questions about that. How many questions I'm going to ask? Three. Okay, thank you. Let's have here the video.
Just like with a good story, your first
Okay, can you hear the voice? Can you hear the sound of the video?
impression should spark the interviewer's interest within minutes of your initial meeting.
Okay.
Metaphorically speaking, if the interviewers are interested in the first couple paragraphs, they're going to continue reading. In the first couple of minutes, there are many different things you can do to make a good first impression. Don't be late. It wastes the interviewer's time and makes it seem like you don't care much about the job. Do be punctual. Arrive at your interview 10 to 15 minutes before your scheduled interview time. If you feel that you might be running late, be courteous and contact the interviewer to let them know. This will give them the opportunity to reschedule if it is more convenient. Don't high five, fist bump, hug, give a sweaty handshake, or squeeze their hand super hard. Do introduce yourself with a solid handshake. If your hands sweat when you're nervous, keep a tissue on hand to absorb the moisture while you're waiting to be introduced. Don't be rude or withdrawn, whether you're talking to the interviewer or to the people at reception. Do be friendly, smile, and maintain eye contact. Be friendly to anyone you're in contact with from the moment you walk in the door to the moment you leave. Smiling will create a warm and positive impression, and maintaining eye contact will demonstrate your self-confidence, focus, and respect for others. Don't slouch, cross your arms, or angle yourself away from your interviewer. Poor posture or closed body language might make yourself seem disinterested or defensive. Do sit up straight with your feet flat on the floor, hands in your lap or chair, and your back against the chair. This open posture will show that you're interested and engaged. Don't fidget. Unintentional body movements such as shaking your leg or playing with a pen could distract the interviewer from your answers. Do use methods to avoid fidgeting. Hold your hands on your knees to be more aware of your leg movements, or hold your hands together. Remove any objects in your vision that you might be tempted to play with. Don't shout, whisper, speak super quickly, or be monotonous. Do be mindful of the pace, clarity, tone, and volume of your speech. Speak clearly and articulate your words. Show enthusiasm in your tone of voice and maintain an appropriate volume for the size of the room and number of people you're meeting with. Mock interviews and practicing out loud can help you improve your speech. Don't tell stories that have nothing to do with the job. Do keep your answers relevant. Stay on point and keep the content of your answers relevant to the requirements of the job. Don't give answers that are too short or very long. Do take your time when answering, but be aware of the interviewer's body language to identify if your answers are going on too long. Are they looking at their watch or the clock to check the time? Depending on the question, a 1 to 2 minute response is typically appropriate, but assume the interviewer knows nothing about you and provide enough detail to answer the questions completely. Don't get angry or blame others when talking about previous jobs. Past situations may be emotionally charged. Therefore, avoid using blaming or negative language when discussing previous employers, colleagues, or work environments. Do be positive. They're looking for a candidate that displays positivity and who will fit well within their team. Make sure to use positive and constructive language when discussing conflicts or difficult situations. Don't wear any clothing that is too tight, revealing, or uncomfortable. Avoid noisy or distracting jewelry or patterns, heavy watches, and loud makeup. Be aware of scent-free policies. Do dress to impress. Wear professional or business casual attire. Choose solid colors and subtle patterns, and make sure your clothes are clean, ironed, and not wrinkly. Ensure you're well groomed by having clean and neat hair. Your professional image and visual presentation weigh heavily on the employer's impression of you. As a rule of thumb, focus on dressing one step above what they would wear to the workplace you're applying to. This may involve researching the company beforehand or asking the person who is called to schedule an interview what the dress code is. A good first impression can spark the interviewer's interest in you. Follow these tips to make a confident and professional first impression.
Okay, let's go back again to the presentation. Can you see the screen now? I think no. Just a minute.
Mrs. Jihan, let me agree with Mr. Islam. Guys, you have to read Mr. Islam's sentence.
I see
It's really important. Thank you, Mr. Islam. I do love what you wrote.
He's one of the, yes, very good. You know what? I put one. It's not that one before that, but I saw that it have a lot of noises and music, so I exchanged it. So
Yeah.
I hope now that I keep the one with music. Okay, Mr. Islam, execute that.
It's fine, it's fine.
Okay, so now with the activity, I want you in 1 minute to write down or make a list of do's and non-do's from the video.
Let me help you with this, Mrs. Jihan.
Yes.
Guys, you're going to go into some rooms, think
Okay.
together, try to recall what the man had said, and when you come back, you have to choose a presenter to just stand for you and say how many points have you collected in both sides. What do you think, Mrs. Jan?
Yes, that's great. Exactly. Thank you so much for that one. This is very good. Okay.
So
Of course. So
divide them into rooms, please.
Okay, breakout rooms. We are now about 52. So maybe 5 in each room will be good. So we need 10 rooms.
10 rooms. Okay.
Less, more. What do you think?
I guess that in order not to waste our time, we can make 10 rooms or 5 rooms, 10 in each,
Okay.
so that we have only 5 rooms.
Okay, 5 rooms.
Just explain to them what they should do. So
Yes,
that
of
they
course,
know
of
what
course.
they're doing.
Because before I'm opening the room, I'm gonna to explain. Okay, so now, thanks for Mr. Hussein for that activity, that one. We are going to have the same activity, but in a different way. You are going to be divided into rooms. I think in each room will be about 10. I need you to write down as many reasons or as many do's and don't do's as you said from the video. Okay, so what are you going to do now? Are we going to be here in the main session or go to rooms?
I'm gonna assign the rooms and you just explain to them and check their understanding, please.
Into rooms, into rooms, into rooms. Yes, okay. What are you going to discuss about listening or about the video? Okay, about video. Please, could you please write in the yes, do and don't do about the video. Yes, that's great. Okay, so and you are going to be there for 5 minutes. Okay. You are going to be there for 10 minutes? Are you going to be there for 10 minutes? Five minutes. Okay, that's great. And now for your rooms.
Shall I open the rooms? I have designed, I have created them.
You created it? Okay, just open the room.
Shall I send?
Yes.
Okay, guys, once I click open the rooms, you're going to turn to be moved automatically to the room.
Automatically to the room.
And
okay.
I want to tell you that I'm going to visit each room to record what you're saying. So feel free to speak as if you don't see my name. And I'm going to have my cam closed so that you speak in a free way. Thank you so much.